The journey of uncovering the hidden gold beneath the shadow begins with the essential first step of recognizing the shadow itself. The shadow represents the parts of ourselves that we have hidden, denied, or suppressed, often because they feel uncomfortable, unacceptable, or even shameful. These are the aspects of our personality, emotions, and desires that we do not show to the world, and sometimes not even to ourselves. They include fears, insecurities, past traumas, anger, jealousy, envy, and all the emotions and impulses we have learned to hide over the years. At first, the shadow may seem like a burden, something we wish were not a part of us, but it is precisely in this hidden, unacknowledged place that tremendous potential and transformative energy lie. Recognizing the shadow is about shining a light into these hidden corners of your inner world. It is the conscious act of noticing the parts of yourself that have been influencing your behaviors and choices without your full awareness. Often, we go through life reacting to situations without realizing that these reactions are shaped by unresolved experiences and suppressed emotions. We might find ourselves repeating patterns that frustrate us, attracting relationships that challenge us, or feeling emotions that seem to come from nowhere. These patterns are often the work of the shadow, operating beneath the surface of consciousness. Becoming aware of the shadow requires courage because it means looking honestly at yourself, without hiding behind excuses or masks. It is not about judging yourself or condemning what you find, but about seeing clearly the totality of your inner landscape. Awareness is the first step toward reclaiming the energy and wisdom that your shadow contains. It is like turning on a light in a dark room and beginning to see what has been there all along. The moment you start to recognize your shadow, you also start to notice the ways it has influenced your life. You may see patterns of fear or avoidance, anger or resentment, self-doubt or insecurity that have shaped your decisions. You may realize that certain situations trigger disproportionate reactions within you, and that these reactions are connected to unacknowledged parts of yourself. Recognizing the shadow is also about noticing what you have been avoiding in your life. Perhaps there are desires you have denied because they seemed unacceptable. Talents you have ignored because you did not feel worthy, or emotions you have suppressed because they were uncomfortable. The shadow often contains exactly those parts of ourselves that hold the key to growth, creativity, and personal power. By acknowledging these hidden parts, you open the door to understanding and transformation. Awareness of the shadow is not a one-time event, it is an ongoing practice. It requires mindfulness, self-reflection, and honesty. You may notice certain patterns repeatedly, and each observation provides an opportunity to deepen your understanding of yourself. This awareness is not about trying to fix or eliminate parts of yourself, but about seeing them clearly and understanding their role in your life. As you recognize your shadow, you may experience discomfort, fear, or resistance. This is natural because the shadow contains the very parts of yourself you have resisted for years. Facing these parts can bring up feelings of vulnerability or shame, but it is precisely through this discomfort that transformation begins. The shadow is not your enemy. It is a hidden treasure that, once acknowledged, can be transformed into strength, insight, and wisdom. One of the most powerful aspects of recognizing the shadow is that it allows you to reclaim energy that has been spent hiding, denying, or resisting parts of yourself. When aspects of your personality are suppressed, they still consume energy, influencing your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors in subtle ways. Awareness brings these hidden aspects into consciousness, giving you the choice to engage with them constructively. Through this process, you begin to experience a sense of freedom, as the energy previously bound in avoidance or denial becomes available for growth, creativity, and authentic living. Recognition of the shadow also fosters self-compassion. As you see these hidden parts of yourself, you begin to understand that having a shadow is a natural part of being human. Everyone carries unacknowledged fears, insecurities, and impulses. They do not make you weak or flawed, they make you human. This understanding softens judgment and opens the heart to acceptance, laying the foundation for the next stages of exploration, acceptance, and integration. Awareness also enables insight into how your shadow has shaped your relationships, choices, and experiences. By seeing clearly the patterns that arise from unacknowledged aspects of yourself, you gain the ability to respond differently. Instead of reacting unconsciously, you can make choices that are aligned with your values, desires, and authentic self. This clarity is the first step in transforming the hidden gold within the shadow into conscious power and purpose. Recognizing the shadow is a deeply personal and courageous act. It requires the willingness to look honestly at your inner world, to face what has been hidden, and to acknowledge the parts of yourself you may have feared or rejected. Yet this recognition is the doorway to profound transformation. It is the beginning of a journey where what once felt like darkness can reveal itself to be a source of light, creativity, and strength. Awareness of your shadow is the seed from which the hidden gold begins to emerge. Every insight, every acknowledgement, every moment of honesty with yourself builds the foundation for the next stages of the journey. By recognizing your shadow, you take responsibility for your inner world, reclaim your energy, and prepare to uncover the treasures that lie beneath. The shadow is not something to innate. It is something to understand, embrace, and transform. The hidden gold beneath it has always been there, waiting for you to see it, claim it, and let it guide you toward wholeness, authenticity, and empowerment. Recognition is the first step, the essential opening act in the journey of turning your inner darkness into a source of light, resilience, and purpose. It is through this awareness that you begin to see clearly, step courageously, and embark on the path of true self-discovery and transformation. After recognizing your shadow, the next stage in the journey of uncovering the hidden gold beneath it is confronting the darkness with courage and honesty. Recognition alone is not enough. Awareness illuminates what exists, but without engagement, the shadow remains dormant, influencing your life subtly, unconsciously, and often negatively. Confronting the shadow means turning toward those aspects of yourself you have avoided, denied, or feared for years. It requires facing your fears, insecurities, unhealed wounds, and suppressed emotions directly. This process can feel uncomfortable, intimidating, and even overwhelming at times. Yet it is precisely this confrontation that begins the transformation of hidden darkness into power and insight. Confronting your shadow is not about blame or self-criticism. It is not an exercise in punishing yourself for perceived flaws or past mistakes. Instead, it is an act of courageous observation. You look honestly at your inner patterns, asking questions like why certain experiences trigger intense emotions, or why you repeatedly repeat behaviors that do not serve you. In doing so, you start to understand how your unacknowledged fears, repressed desires, and unresolved experiences shape your decisions and interactions. This understanding is the key to reclaiming the hidden gold within your shadow. Your shadow often reveals itself through triggers and projections. When someone's words or actions evoke disproportionate reactions in you, it is often a reflection of a part of yourself that has been suppressed or denied. Anger, resentment, jealousy, or insecurity may arise suddenly, and these emotions are signals pointing toward unresolved aspects of your inner world. By observing these reactions mindfully without judgment, you can begin to uncover the roots of your shadow. Each trigger is a doorway to understanding, and projection, an invitation to reclaim lost energy and awareness. Facing the shadow also involves exploring past experiences and unhealed wounds. Many hidden aspects of ourselves were formed in childhood or early life experiences, where certain emotions, desires, or behaviors were deemed unacceptable or dangerous. Over time, these parts of ourselves were buried in the unconscious, yet they continue to influence our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Confronting the shadow means revisiting these areas with courage, acknowledging the pain or fear, and recognizing how it has shaped your present life. This confrontation allows for a profound sense of liberation because you are no longer unconsciously controlled by old patterns or unresolved trauma. This stage is deeply connected to awareness. Awareness illuminated your inner world and made the shadow visible. Confronting the shadow is the active engagement that follows, transforming observation into action. Without this step, recognition may remain superficial, and the hidden gold remains untapped. Confrontation brings the shadow into full consciousness, allowing you to engage with it directly and begin the process of transformation. Emotionally, confronting the shadow requires resilience. As you face suppressed emotions and hidden fears, you may feel vulnerability, discomfort, or even shame. These feelings are natural, yet they are also the doorway to growth. Each moment of courage in confronting your inner darkness strengthens your self-awareness, emotional intelligence, and capacity for compassion. You begin to see that the shadow is not something to fear, but a source of insight, energy, and hidden strength waiting to be reclaimed. Spiritually, confronting your shadow is an acknowledgement that wholeness includes both light and darkness. It is the understanding that avoiding or suppressing your hidden aspects only fragments yourself and limits your potential. By facing what has been hidden, you start to reclaim the energy, creativity, and wisdom that have been stored within the shadow. This confrontation transforms fear into power, resistance into understanding, and fragmentation into the foundation for integration. Confronting your shadow also fosters self-compassion. As you explore the hidden and uncomfortable parts of yourself, you begin to understand that everyone carries a shadow. It is a natural and universal aspect of being human. Recognizing this allows you to respond to yourself with empathy rather than judgment. Each suppressed emotion or denied desire is part of your humanity, and by meeting it with understanding, you pave the way for acceptance and integration. Ultimately, confronting the shadow is the courageous act that bridges recognition and transformation. Awareness allows you to see what exists within. Confrontation allows you to engage with it honestly and directly. Through this process, the hidden gold begins to emerge. You reclaim energy previously bound in fear or denial, gain insight into your patterns and motivations, and cultivate the courage needed to move toward acceptance and integration. Confronting the shadow is not a one-time event, but an ongoing practice of honesty, reflection, and courage, forming the foundation for the awakening of your inner light and the full realization of your true self. This stage sets the stage for radical acceptance, the next step, where the darkness you confront is no longer resisted but embraced, and the hidden gold within begins to be transformed into strength, clarity, and authentic power. By facing what you have avoided, this by inviting you to embrace what you have discovered. Without acceptance, the shadow may remain acknowledged but resisted, leaving tension, conflict, and fragmented energy. By embracing your whole self, you stop the inner struggle and allow the energy of your shadow to be reclaimed and transformed into constructive power. This stage involves observing yourself with curiosity and compassion. When feelings of anger, fear, envy, or shame arise, acceptance encourages you to notice them without judgment. Instead of labeling these emotions as bad or wrong, you explore what they are communicating about your needs, desires, or unresolved experiences. Acceptance allows you to meet yourself where you are, honoring your humanity while recognizing your capacity for growth and transformation. Radical acceptance also changes the way you relate to your past. Many aspects of the shadow are connected to earlier life experiences, memories, or decisions that were painful or formative. Acceptance does not erase these experiences, nor does it condone harmful behavior, but it allows you to integrate them into your personal narrative without self-blame or resistance. by accepting your history and it onto the world, and more capable of connecting authentically and compassionately. This stage of self-acceptance allows you to engage with life and people from a place of balance and clarity, rather than reactivity or denial. Ultimately, radical acceptance is an act of empowerment. It allows you to reclaim energy previously lost to resistance and denial. It enables you to step fully into your own truth and prepare for integration, where the hidden gold within your shadow can be consciously transformed and harnessed. Acceptance is the conscious choice to embrace yourself as you are while committing to growth and transformation. It is the bridge between awareness, confrontation, and the practical unification of your inner world. Through acceptance, the journey moves from observation to embodiment. You no longer merely recognize your darkness, you embrace it, understanding that it contains the seeds of your strength, creativity, and authenticity. Radical acceptance is the key that unlocks the potential within your shadow, allowing it to contribute to your growth rather than limit you. By fully accepting yourself, you step closer to uncovering the hidden gold that has always existed within. You have cleared the obstacles, fear, denial, and resistance that previously muted this potential. Awakening your gold means stepping into your authentic self, allowing your talents, passions, and inner wisdom to emerge fully. The awakening of your hidden potential is deeply connected to the previous steps. Awareness revealed the shadow. Confrontation brought hidden aspects into consciousness. Acceptance allowed you to embrace all parts of yourself with compassion. Integration unified these aspects into a coherent self. Awakening your gold is a stage where all of this inner work becomes outwardly expressed. The energy, creativity, and strength you reclaimed are now actively shaping your life, informing your choices, inspiring your actions, and illuminating your path. Practically, awakening your hidden gold involves living in alignment with your authentic self. It means acting from your values, expressing your creativity, and making decisions guided by the integrated whole version of yourself. Challenges are no longer sources of fear or avoidance. They become opportunities to exercise your courage, insight, and resilience. Your hidden strengths, once dormant, now empower you to navigate life with confidence and purpose. Emotionally, this stage brings a profound sense of freedom and fulfillment. You are no longer constrained by the parts of yourself you once denied or feared. Your energy is no longer fragmented or bound in avoidance. Instead, it flows into constructive, purposeful action. The hidden gold that was once buried in fear and suppression now fuels growth, clarity, and authentic self-expression. Awakening this potential allows you to experience life fully with courage, creativity, and resilience. Spiritually, awakening your hidden gold is the manifestation of wholeness. It is the living expression of the integration of light and darkness within you. The shadow you once feared now serves as a foundation for strength and wisdom, and your light is fully illuminated by the energy reclaimed from hidden aspects of yourself. This stage embodies self-actualization, a conscious, empowered alignment with your inner truth, purpose, and potential. Awakening your gold also transforms relationships and your influence in the world. When you express your authentic self, your presence becomes magnetic and inspiring. You relate to others from a place of clarity. Thank you, confidence and compassion, fostering deeper connections and creating a positive impact on the people around you. Your inner transformation becomes visible externally, demonstrating that the integration of light and shadow is not only personally liberating but also enriching for your environment and community. Ultimately, awakening your hidden gold is the stage where the inner journey of self-discovery begins to bear tangible fruit. It is where the darkness you once feared has been transformed into a source of power, insight, and creativity. The energy of your shadow is no longer a source of limitation, but a reservoir of strength that fuels your authentic self. This awakening allows you to live consciously, act purposefully, and express fully the potential that has always existed within you. Through this process, the journey moves from inner work to outward expression. You no longer simply understand or integrate your shadow, you embody its power and wisdom, allowing your hidden gold to shine brightly in your life. Awakening your gold is the bridge between inner transformation and authentic living, empowering you to navigate life with courage, clarity, and fulfillment. It is stage, where the treasure beneath your shadow becomes visible, accessible, and actively contributing to your wholeness, growth, and purpose. The final stage in the journey of uncovering the hidden gold beneath the shadow is the attainment of wholeness and authentic empowerment. This stage is the culmination of all the inner work you have done: awareness, confrontation, acceptance, integration, and the awakening of your hidden gold. Wholeness is the state in which your shadow and your light are no longer opposing forces, but complementary aspects of a unified self. It is the conscious embodiment of all the insights, energy, and strengths you have reclaimed from your inner darkness, allowing you to live with clarity, purpose, and authenticity. Wholeness begins with the recognition that every part of yourself, even those you once feared or rejected, contributes to your completeness. Your shadow, with all its hidden fears, insecurities, and suppressed desires, has been transformed into a source of wisdom, creativity, and resilience. Your light, the authentic expression of your values, talents, and passions, now shines fully because it is grounded in the integration of your inner dark. In wholeness, there is no division, no conflict between what you are and who you wish to be. You exist as a coherent, empowered, and authentic being. This stage is deeply connected to all the previous steps. Awareness revealed the hidden shadow. Confrontation brought it into full consciousness. Acceptance allowed you to embrace your entirety with compassion. Integration unified these aspects into a functional whole. Awakening your hidden gold allowed your reclaimed strengths and wisdom to be expressed in your life. Wholeness is the natural culmination of this journey, where your inner work is reflected in the way you think, act, and engage with the world. It is the living embodiment of transformation. Emotionally, wholeness brings profound stability and peace. The internal conflicts, self-criticism, and fear that once consumed energy are replaced by clarity, confidence, and balance. You no longer react unconsciously to triggers or external pressures because you operate from a place of awareness, integration, and self-alignment. Your emotional energy is fully available for creation, meaningful relationships, and purposeful action. Wholeness allows you to navigate challenges with resilience, grace, and presence, because you are rooted in the strength of your complete self. Spiritually, wholeness is the embodiment of authenticity and self-realization. It is the understanding that light and darkness, strength and vulnerability, success and failure are all necessary components of being human. By uniting these aspects within yourself, you experience the profound freedom of living as your true self, aligned with your purpose, values, and inner truth. Wholeness is not the absence of difficulty, but the ability to engage with life fully, with courage, clarity, and presence. Living in wholeness also transforms your relationships and your influence in the world. When you are fully integrated and authentic, your presence naturally inspires trust, empathy, and connection. You communicate and act from alignment rather than fear or pretense. You become a source of light and stability for others, demonstrating that embracing your shadow and reclaiming your hidden gold not only liberates you, but positively impacts those around you. Ultimately, wholeness and empowerment are the culmination of the journey from recognition to transformation. Owning your shadow, integrating its lessons, and awakening the hidden gold within allows you to live as a fully realized, authentic being. You are no longer fragmented or controlled by unacknowledged fears and desires. Instead, you move through life with intention, courage, and clarity, fully embodying your unique gifts and potential. Through this stage, the journey comes full circle. The darkness you once feared is now a source of strength. The gold beneath your shadow shines as a guiding light. You have transformed fear into courage, denial into acceptance, fragmentation into integration, and potential into action. Wholeness is the living expression of this transformation. A state where your inner power and authenticity guide your life, allowing you to navigate the world fully aligned, empowered, and free. The hidden gold beneath the shadow is no longer hidden, it has become the foundation of your wholeness, illuminating the path toward purpose, fulfillment, and true self-realization. You lay the groundwork for reclaiming your full potential and stepping closer to wholeness. Confronting the shadow is the brave act that turns recognition into real inner work and opens the door to discovering the treasure buried within your darkness. After confronting your shadow, the next step in the journey of uncovering the hidden gold beneath it is radical acceptance. This stage is where courage and honesty transform into compassion and understanding, allowing you to embrace every part of yourself without judgment or denial. Radical acceptance means fully acknowledging both your light and your darkness, your strengths and weaknesses, your fears and desires as integral parts of who you are. It is the conscious choice to stop resisting or running from aspects of yourself that you have previously feared or denied. Acceptance is not about passivity or resignation. It is an empowered recognition that every part of you has meaning, value, and potential. Acceptance is deeply connected to the previous step of confronting the shadow. Once you have faced the hidden parts of yourself, you are aware of what exists, and you have seen them clearly and honestly. Radical acceptance builds on influence on your present self. You reclaim the power and wisdom hidden within those experiences. Emotionally, acceptance brings relief and clarity. Resistance to the shadow consumes energy, creating internal tension, self-criticism, and fragmentation. By embracing all aspects of yourself, you release this energy, creating space for self-understanding, inner calm, and constructive action. Acceptance is the process that transforms fear and avoidance into awareness, understanding, and empowerment. Spiritually, radical acceptance acknowledges the unity of light and darkness within you. You begin to understand that the qualities you once resisted are not obstacles but integral components of your wholeness. Every fear, flaw, and hidden desire contributes to the unique combination of traits that make you who you are. By accepting all of it, you prepare yourself for integration, where the shadow and the conscious self unite into a harmonious, empowered whole. Acceptance also enhances your relationships with others. When you can embrace your own complexity, you become more empathetic and understanding toward the complexity of others. You are less likely to project your fears or judgments. Setting the stage for integration and the awakening of your inner power. After cultivating awareness, confronting your shadow, and practicing radical acceptance, the next step in the journey of uncovering the hidden gold beneath the shadow is integration. Integration is the process of bringing together all aspects of yourself: the light, the darkness, the strengths, the vulnerabilities, the fears, and the desires, into a unified, harmonious whole. It is the stage where insight and understanding move from being internal concepts into practical, lived reality. Through integration, the energy and wisdom reclaimed from your shadow are consciously incorporated into your identity, shaping your thoughts, emotions, actions, and choices in ways that align with your authentic self. Integration begins with the understanding that every part of you, even the aspects you once feared or rejected, serves a purpose. Emotions such as anger, fear, or sadness are not obstacles to be eliminated. They are signals, teachers, and sources of energy. Anger, once integrated, becomes assertiveness and boundary setting. Fear becomes clarity, caution, and courage. Sadness becomes empathy and emotional day. By integrating the shadow, you transform what once felt like weakness into sources of personal power and insight. This stage is deeply connected to the previous steps. Awareness illuminated your inner world, helping you see clearly the parts of yourself that were hidden. Confronting your shadow allowed you to engage honestly with these aspects. Radical acceptance invited compassion and understanding for your entire being. Integration is the bridge between acceptance and action. It unites observation, confrontation, and embrace into a coherent, functional self. Without integration, your insights may remain theoretical or fragmented, but with it, you begin to live consciously, with your inner world reflected authentically in your external life. Practically, integration involves observing your behaviors, thoughts, and reactions and consciously aligning them with your authentic self. When old patterns arise, integration allows you to respond intentionally rather than react unconsciously. For example, if fear of failure appears, integration enables you to acknowledge the emotion while taking action aligned with your goals. If resentment or jealousy surfaces, integration allows you to notice the feeling without letting it control your behavior, using it as guidance for unmet needs or desires. Integration turns inner conflict into conscious, purposeful living. Emotionally, integration brings stability and resilience. When all parts of yourself are acknowledged and harmonized, triggers and challenges lose much of their power to destabilize you. Emotional energy that was previously tied up in denial, avoidance, or repression becomes available for conscious creation, authentic expression, and meaningful engagement. Integration allows you to navigate life with balance and clarity, reducing self-sabotage and enhancing personal empowerment. Spiritually, integration represents the embodiment of wholeness. It is the understanding that your light and darkness, strengths and vulnerabilities, successes and failures are all necessary components of being human. By unifying these elements, you transform fragmentation into harmony, allowing your inner energy to flow freely. Integration prepares the ground for the next stage, awakening the hidden gold within your shadow, because only when the parts are unified can their full potential be realized. Integration also enhances creativity and authenticity. The energy reclaimed from your shadow can now be channeled into personal growth, relationships, work, and self-expression. Your life begins to reflect your internal coherence, and your decisions and actions are increasingly aligned with your values and purpose. Through integration, you become capable of expressing your true self without distortion or fear, living with clarity, intention, and presence. Ultimately, integration is the bridge between inner exploration and authentic living. It is the stage where self-awareness, confrontation, and acceptance converge into a unified sense of self, empowering you to step fully into your life. Integration is not a one-time event, but an ongoing practice of harmonizing, balancing, and uniting all aspects of your being. It is the transformation of hidden darkness into conscious strength, and sets the stage for awakening the hidden gold, allowing your true potential to shine through. Through integration, the journey moves from insight to embodiment. You no longer merely understand your shadow, you live with it in harmony, harnessing its energy, wisdom, and power. This stage enables the emergence of your inner light, where the gold hidden within your shadow begins to reveal itself as strength, clarity, and authentic expression. Integration is the alchemy that transforms complexity and conflict into wholeness and prepares you to awaken your full potential. After awareness, confronting your shadow, practicing acceptance, and integrating your inner self, the next stage in uncovering the hidden gold beneath the shadow is the awakening of your hidden potential. This stage is the natural outcome of all the inner work you have done so far. Through awareness, confrontation, acceptance, and integration, you have reclaimed parts of yourself that were hidden or suppressed, transforming what once felt like darkness into energy, insight, and power. Awakening your hidden gold is the process of consciously bringing these reclaimed qualities into expression, allowing them to guide your actions, choices, and purpose in life. This stage begins with the recognition that the hidden gold has always existed within you. It is not something external that you need to find, but a source of creativity, strength, resilience, and insight that has been waiting for conscious engagement. By facing and integrating your shadow,